Welcome to the Wits Wargames Club. We are here to illustrate to you how a game called Morabaraba is a board game, how it's played. My name is Lebogang, and I'll be having David and Matthias doing the illustrations and the demonstrations in the assembly team. The goal of the game is to make sure that you have 3 in a row and then take one of the opponent's pieces. There are 2 players that can play this game at a time with 12 pieces each, called cows. The goal of the game is to make 3 in a row and then take one of the opponent's pieces. That we will illustrate later. But then for now, we are going to show you the 3 stages to the game. The first stage is to place your cows. So as the red play. So what happens here is that since David has got 3 in a row, then he can take one of Matthias' pieces. Yeah. Now we're in the second stage. In the second stage, what happens is that each player can, at a time, he moves his cow in a straight line, just like that. Keeping in mind that's the aim of the goal of the game, that you have to get 3 in a row. So Matthias now has 3 in a row, so he can take one of David's cows. So there are 3 stages to the game. The first stage is to place your cows. Each player will place his cows at a 10, taking 10. But then the rule is that you have to make sure that when you place your cow, you must place them in such a way that you make sure that the other player does not have 3 in a row. Since that is his ultimate goal, to make sure that he has got 3 in a row so that he can take your cows. One of your cow. As you can see. They're making sure that, okay. So David has got 3 in a row, so he will take one of Matthias' cows. Therefore, reducing his chances of making 3 in a row. You guys are smart, man. You guys are you guys. Okay. So now Matthias has got 3. You guys are too fast, man. You're too fast, you guys. So since Matthias has made 3 in a row, he now will take, Now David he can take cow. This is still the first stage, by the way, where each player is placing a cow, and then they take chance to do that, making sure that the other opponent does not have 3 in a row. As you can see, this game takes a lot of calculation and thinking. Now we have entered the second stage where each player has got to move his cow in a row, in a line. We're still in the second phase of the game, where each player has got to move his cow in the line. We are fast approaching the third phase of the game.
Yeah, you can just do it practically.
The third phase of the game is approaching. What happens is that since David has got only 3 cows left, what a shame, he can now fly. So now he doesn't have to move in a line. He can fly. Fly meaning in the commas, as you can see.
So that is like, yeah. Okay, good.
So Matthias Mpeti wins because now David has got only 2 cows. So meaning that he cannot put his cows in a row. So it is impossible for him to continue. It is unthinkable. Okay, anyway. Okay, we shall now illustrate to you machine gunning, something that must never happen in the Morabaraba game. What happens here is that you have a player that can move backwards and forwards and maintaining lines with rows. So he can move backwards and forwards and speed. Just like that. He just keeps on moving backwards and forwards. We are now going to illustrate a rule where you can't take from a line if there is another option. Like you can't take from that line because there is a corner piece. So therefore you can take that one. We are now going to illustrate the rule that says you can only take one piece at a time. So even though you've got 2 lines of tray, you can still only take one at a time. That's the rule. We are now going to illustrate the scenario whereby you can move. If you cannot move, then you can't win. Therefore, you can't.
Okay.
We are now going to illustrate the scenario where you can't move. It's a rule that says if you can't move, then it's a loss on your side.
Yeah. Then you lose. Yeah.
Then you lose.
You cannot move. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. After you talk, one move and that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
We shall.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you talking?
We are now going to illustrate the scenario where if you can't move, you lose, because that's the rule. The rule says that if you can't move, you lose. Am I right? Just like that. Then lose cannot move, then they've lost. It's unfortunate. We shall now take a moment of silence to mourn the loss.
So join the Wits Wargames Club and subscribe to learn more about Morabaraba.